All the studies and all the data seem to indicate that removing the cell phones during instructional time improves learning outcomes, it improves social interactions, it reduces anxiety, because cell phones are addictive. And it's not because it's not a phone, it's a computer. And many times students are interacting with people online that may or may not even be real. They may be a 40-year-old guy sitting in his underwear in, a basement somewhere, and they really have no idea of knowing. But every time that notification buzzes, it distracts the student, every single time. And I appreciate what Janelle said. I appreciate that students are not going to like this. But I also think that they have grown up and become so accustomed to having that screen in front of them that I don't think they recognize how it distracts them, it interrupts their concentration. A lot of times they have it in their room next to their bed and they're not always sleeping enough. There are other means of keeping track of your schedule. And after school and before school, it's between bells. It's not that we're denying it completely. But every single discipline hearing that I've sat on in the last year, a cell phone has been involved, multiple cell phones. Because the first thing students do is they get their cell phone out and they start videoing everything that's going on. It creates an environment where people are sort of performative. Like they can't back down, they can't stop because somebody's watching. Because this might go viral. This might get 100 likes. And it changes their behavior. I know it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge for our teachers. It's going to be a challenge for our students. It's going to be a challenge for staff. And I get that. But even if once students leave school, they're going to get jobs that don't necessarily allow a cell phone to be on the floor with them or where they are. It's just, it's something that we have to do, because I think that their social interactions are being impaired. I think that their ability to do the best they can in school is being impaired. And I think that we have to make this stand.
I've gotten more emails from teachers thanking me for us even considering this, because there's a little hope on the horizon for them that they won't be fighting the electronic device anymore in the classroom than they have to fight the other 50 distractions that they have going on in the room. So for me, this board is obligated to continue to address and to grow, no matter how painful that is for some of us. At some point, we have to be able to say that we are moving forward and we are addressing the real issues that are in front of us. The data is there. The data on the impact of the cell phones and our kids and their mental health and what is happening is there. We can't look back anymore there's no plausible deniability going on with the fact that cell phones aren't hurting our kids. They are hurting our kids. They're hurting the mindset, their mental health. They're bringing their own personal images down to the lowest levels we've ever seen. We're coming in, discipline committee after discipline committee. It is nobody helping a kid getting beaten, but they are sure filming that beating taking place. So someone's got to take the sexiness of that influential whatever out of the equation and get these kids focused for what public schools are designed for. Academic excellence and educational superiority in post-secondary world. Right? Is that how it is, post-secondary world? Because right now that's not happening, and that's not happening because of our addiction to the screens and the cell phones.
But in my meetings over the years with the principal of Edward E. Drew, Amy Ivory, and talking about how she implemented the cell phone policy there, she noted that it was just really important for teacher buy-in. If you don't have all the teachers following the same policy, it doesn't work. And she noted that for her school, if a kid came in and said, "Oh, Mrs. So-and-so let me have my phone or let me listen to my music," everybody on the staff instructed Mrs. So-and-so that she needed to get with the program. And so this policy is going to succeed or not succeed based on our instructional staff. So I am excited to see if it will work, but I agree if it doesn't work, then we need to bring it back.
The fact of the matter is that students are tuning out because of their phones, because they have the ability to walk away. And I'll give you an example. Like, I went to the North Stafford Project Impact this year, and a gentleman with no legs wheeled into the middle of the floor to give his speech to explain to the kids exactly why he was there. And what I saw in the crowd was a bunch of kids taking selfies of themselves while this gentleman was trying to make an impact on their life. So that is a sincere sign of disrespect, as it were. But that is what obligates this board to try and change the culture and create a system where respect and discipline are equally as important across the board as that phone. We have Chromebooks for technology. We have plenty of ways for our kids to have access to as many things as they need, the internet, whatever it is. But it's not just that this is, you know, we're being asked to fix the discipline problems in our schools, and then every solution that we've come up with isn't good enough for one person or the next person or this person. I get that we're not going to all agree on everything, but I think what we can agree on is that the cell phones have become a nuisance to our children that is so far out of control, we can't get them back.
I want all the instructional time possible. That's my goal. I want to take away a kid with an AirPod in that's being rude or checking their device or checking their phone or whatever. I want distraction, I understand that is, but I want all instructional time for my educators to give their students. That's my goal.